Yes, everything becomes beginning with experiment. We don't know what to do, what not to do, but we have to experiment. We go this way, we go that way, we go that way, and find out which is suitable for us. That is called an experiment. That is called a science. See, truth begins with scientific temper. You know what is scientific temper? Experimentation. Not belief. Not blind belief. You experiment. If somebody said that you go this way, you go that way and check out what is there. Okay. Then you come back and say, hey, I went there, but I didn't find that place proper. So you have experimented. Then that will say, okay, go this way, alternate way. You go the alternate way. This is called experimentation. That is called a scientific temper. You check out every fact. You check out every guidance practically. When you do experimentation, then experience will happen. Okay, this way is not good, this way is good. Okay, I give you an experiment. If you are eating meat, don't eat meat for the next 40 days and tell me what is happening. Then you must not eat meat for the next 40 days and then come back and tell me, no, I missed my meat. Okay, then go for meat again. I don't like eating tomatoes and potatoes. I want only my chickens and muttons. Okay, do that. But after 40 days, if you come back and say, I like my potatoes and tomatoes now. I don't want chicken and mutton. Then change your habit. So that is an experience. I don't want to do meditation, somebody says. Okay, experiment as meditation. यार आप चुप के बैठिए, आप आंखें बंद करके बैठिए, देखेंगे क्या होगा. Why don't you experiment? What prevents you from experimentation? Don't you have scientific temper? So those who have scientific temper always go for experimentation. And those who go for experimentation will have experiences. This way or that way. Whichever way. But you first of all experience it.
Happy morning, dear friends and masters. Good afternoon, evening. Spiritual practice are also, everything is an iterative process. Iteration means it is experimentation. Iterative process. So we do one after the other, after the other, after the other, until we find something that is useful for us, that we connect to it. Not everybody needs to connect to the same thing at the same time, because we all are at different levels of evolution. So it's perfectly okay. Some are in the body state, some are in the mind state, some are in the intellect state. They're experiencing many of those at that level. Some are in the individual consciousness state, some are in the state of all being one with them. So every time, depending on which state we are in, we serve that thing. When the body state, we serve a body. We find pleasure in our body. In the mind state, we serve the mind. More jewelry, more money, more positions, more external power, empowerment, everything of that nature. Serving the mind, seeking pleasures, deriving pleasures out of it. In all of it, there's one thing that comes through is that when we are with others or something, then we seem to find more joy and more happiness. When we share, when we spend time with somebody else, when we spend time with this nature, when we spend time with animals, when we share what we have, because when you spend time, naturally you're going to share what you have. When we help somebody else, and no matter which state we are in, that when we help somebody else, it seems to be giving us more joy and more happiness. In whichever way that we are capable of, it seems to give more joy and more happiness. Now, that thing that we do is anything that gives us deep happiness and joy becomes a purpose. Anything that gives us deep happiness and joy becomes our purpose. And anything that becomes our purpose naturally always has a value to somebody else, always has a value to somebody else. Even if I'm a businessman producing things, it has a value to somebody else. If it's your passion, then you create. If it's a purpose, then you create something meaningful, so it's going to be useful to somebody. Purpose of life is there for everybody. If everything we produce have a purpose, I wear this shirt, it has a purpose. It has a specific purpose. We create many, many things. This button has a specific purpose. Everything has a specific purpose for what it needs to be used. Then in human body, this human being, can it be a random existence? Have you thought in those lines of what is my purpose? If it's not random existence, and then got to be a sounding answer immediately. I want to say, is it random existence? There's got to be an answer saying no. Because simple things that we create have a purpose, then this most intelligent system in this probably universe, at least for the planet Earth, must have a purpose. A Man's Search for Meaningful Life by Viktor Frankl. Anytime I would recommend this book to be read. Search for meaningful life, a purposeful life. Viktor Frankl. In spite of being in very, very, very difficult conditions of a Nazi camp, Viktor Frankl could come out of a camp The person of the people who come out of a Nazi camp was very, very, very small. Once you go in there, that's it, it's one way. You don't come out of it. But he could come out. He was a youngster. He was taken to the camps. This is World War II time. But he could come out of it. And then he went about writing this beautiful book called The Search for Meaningful Life. And the only reason he says is that he had a purpose. The purpose was simple, to make and spend time with his newly married wife. Because as soon as they got married, and then first they fell in love with each other, but he was pushed into his camp that time. Just to be spending time, just the very thought of spending time with her was sufficient for him to hold on to his life, no matter how difficult the circumstance that he was going through. But he came out because he had something to hope for. He had clarity that this is what I'm going to do. But there is always something that we all hope for, and so then we continue to live. Everyone has a purpose for which they live. Mothers live for children automatically. There won't be confusion in their mind about what's the purpose anytime, that's serving the children. There won't be confusion. Students, a group of students in university were asked, what's the purpose? Why are you living for? And they always said, I'm hopeful of actually doing something in my life. That's why I'm going and through this life. I'm hopeful of doing something. They don't know, but they're hopeful of something they're going to do. Which means deep inside, fundamentally, we are here to experience something. So there's got to be there is something that we experience which is going to give us deep happiness, contentment, meaning. When mother gets meaning, when she sees her children beautifully raised to be the most finest human beings. An entrepreneur who starts a business out of sheer interest and passion is always living and dreaming of it, to grow it, to see that it grows and it becomes very meaningful. We all, dear friends, have a purpose. We have 5 bodies. We take care of our individual physical body. We take care of our mind. We take care of our intellect, meaning satisfy the intellect so we are happy. Mind is wanting to have the power games. Intellect is to wanting to serve, to do something beyond me. Do something beyond me. There are people going through a lot of water challenges. Okay, let me see what can I do. Maybe I should innovate something so that the challenges can be solved for them. So rainwater harvesting came. Somebody thought the ground bed in the cities is becoming a challenge. So somebody thought about it, so the rainwater harvesting came. So now we all do rainwater harvesting. So you improve the lives of many people. So the intellect is to look beyond me to see how can I help somebody else in many, many ways. You serve that. Then we seek pleasure out of it. We seek experiences with serving intellect. But somewhere you're not happy still after doing many, many experimentations, many, many experiences of becoming a Rotarian, becoming a member in this non-profit, trying to serve others. Then we start serving our individual consciousness and saying, what is that missing for me? What is that missing for me? I'm still doing so many things, still not happy. So then you serve your individual consciousness. We come into meditation practice to try to understand ourselves. Who am I? In the process, of course, we have many experiences. We are doing satsangs, we are reading books, we are elevating ourselves, we feel great, we feel expansive. experience that wholeness. Some of the states are there. Then at once it becomes obvious that, okay, I need to take care of me as a whole. There is this universal consciousness. I need to take care of it. I need to take care of this whole. So it becomes obvious that I need to take care of the plants. I need to take care of the animals. I need to take care of fellow beings. Everything that's got consciousness, everything has consciousness. The natural evolution, dear friends, that we come to a point where we are seeing that I am the whole, so I need to take care of the whole. If any part of me is not happy, there's no way I can be happy. And so we come to the conclusion to take care of a whole. It's a natural process to happen, becomes the purpose for anyone. But until then, helping others seems to give happiness into our lives. We all have done it. We'll understand what it means to find our purpose. When I read in the year 2002, one of the books that Patriji wrote, the purpose of life is to learn and enjoy. That's all is written. Learn, he added learning and enjoyment. I felt it's pretty simple because if you are learning and you're finding happiness as part of it, that means then you are going to be adding happiness to everybody else anyway. The science of energy is there. If you're happy from inside, not shallow happiness, but if you're happy. And how do you get to the true happiness? By keep learning, keep knowing more. Nitya Anitya, Viveka Vichara means constantly be in discrimination between what is real, what's not real. That's what happens when we keep doing the right learning. Then we constantly, two things are going to happen. One, we're going to have new experience, so we'll be happy, however temporary it could be. And we learn something. Knowledge is precursor to experience. So we have a new experience. Every time you have a new experience, you're happy. Every time you're happy, you're sharing that with somebody because automatically the energy is going. So you make things better, a little bit better. But if you have right knowledge, you also discriminate. What is real, what's not real. So naturally, we are moving towards that happiness which gives us more and more meaning. Something that lasts for longer. That's how we come into meditation practices. But he said, purpose of life is to learn and then enjoy, to find joy in it, in whatever that you learning. And then if you are finding joy, then you're good. And you're happy, then others are happy. But one thing is there that we all, if everything that we see around has a purpose and a tree has a purpose to give and give and give, we as human beings also have a purpose. Everything has a purpose. We'll understand this. And if you are aligned to a purpose, we say then you're already serving. Because by default, the answer comes as purpose is to serve. Serve others, help others. But if you align to a purpose, you're already serving. Let's figure out what is it that gives me happiness, gives me contentment. Let's go into meditation, dear friends. Relax yourself, sit comfortably, practicing breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to go into the empty states of mind. We do this by sitting with our eyes closed and specs removed, fingers into fingers, as you see in the picture. Hands in your lap, rested comfortably, crossing your feet at ankle. So you're closing your eyes, crossing your feet, and then fingers, clasping your fingers, and then comfortably resting your hands in your lap, and then observing your breath anywhere on the nose, and you observe the breath slowly, mind becomes empty. You experience many empty states. You may experience sensation, movement. When you are in this empty state, as the mind is becoming empty of thought, you experience emptiness, which is energy, so there is a sensation. If you do any of those experiences, observe them, witness them. In case you have thought, bring your attention back to the breath, and again observe the breath and slowly go into empty states. Before you do that, we're doing this process called heart elevation. Just follow my guidance, dear friends, for a few minutes, and then we're going to the breath mindfulness meditation. Relax yourself. Relax your body. So eyes closed. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience the emptiness of blackness, where there's no body, where there's no thing. emptiness is energy. Allow yourself to stay connected to this emptiness, to this energy, the field of limitless possibilities. The longer you stay aware of it, you stay connected to it, the more experiences you draw into your life. aware of the emptiness, that blackness, that void. This is the field of abundance of energies, energies of love, of empowerment, of mystic. The more you are with it, the more you stay connected to this emptiness, the more you tune in to these energies. Yourself. Allow yourself to merge into the emptiness of yourself. recollect your experiences from the session. And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds and then may open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoy the session. Do you have any announcements today?
Yes, sir. We have the announcement.
Yes, Apurva, go ahead.
Yes, friends. Today, as a Monday, we have the book club session. You are the placebo. It will be 8:15 to 9:15 a.m. IST in the morning. And we'll have the second session in the night. That will be 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST. So both are the different session, but will be connected on the same book. So please do join in whichever session is convenient for you. Thank you, sir.
So book clubs are coming to a close then.
Yes, sir. We'll be having one more on Wednesday. That will be the last.
The last one. Okay. Okay. Dhyana Jagath, how are your meditations going? Out there? Okay. Like to share? Okay. Let me put up this important concept of purpose of life. There is happiness and joy, but there is also meaning. Meaning to a life. Means at any given time, when you look back into a life, we must have a strong answer to ourselves that yes, I've spent a life that has been useful, that you are deeply satisfied. The word contentment and satisfaction, use it when you live a life of meaning. That means you will never have ever a regret about the way we spent our time. If you utilize our moments today, then when you look back, you'll never have a regret and say, why did I not do it? I should have done it. I could have done it. Those things should never come. This moment is going to come for everybody in their life at some point or the other. What did I do? A lot of times, at the time of vacating the body, people are going through this momentary thought, why did I waste my life? And then how we cross over, with what kind of understanding we cross over to the other side is what create more of, and then immediate thereafter, we're experiencing more of that. If you are living with a life of purpose, a life of meaning, and then satisfied deeply, Then you have another type of experience thereafter. Just the way how you move from one company to company, one place to place, with satisfaction, not with problems, not with rejection or dejection. For all of us, that purpose is there. Some are able to find it immediately, some are not able to find. Let's look at in the words of many people in the world who seem to have lived a fulfilled life. What do they say about purpose of life? Mahatma Gandhi. The purpose of life is undoubtedly to know oneself. So it's talking about knowing oneself. I love this quote from Gandhi. We cannot do it unless we learn to identify ourselves with all that lives. The instrument of this knowledge is boundless and selfless service. So to know yourself is advocating, biggest thing is saying to know yourself. But then how do you do it? How do you know who you are? Is saying the boundless and selfless service. When you do it, he's saying that you will have the ability to identify yourself with everything and everybody. And that's what he's saying is knowing yourself, because you are that. There is dhyana, meditation, there is jnana, wisdom, and there is karma, action. We do all three. In the body, action, karma yoga. In the mind, wisdom, knowledge, reasoning, contemplation. With the soul, meditation, dhyana. All three are there, the ways to go and merge with it, to know yourself as the whole. And the karma, in the karma yoga, is saying to be there. I mean, one is to do it for yourself, but to be there and then identify yourself as a whole, then you're doing boundless, selfless service. Because if you want to get there, then you do the selfless service to others. Mahatma Gandhi ji. Dalai Lama. The very purpose of life is to be happy. Mahatma Gandhi said, know yourself. Know yourself is to identify, ultimately come to the conclusion that I am the whole, I am the one with everything. How do you do it? You keep serving, then you'll start finding yourself and others. Not much difference with anybody and you. And here Dalai Lama is saying, purpose is to be happy. We desire contentment from the core of our being. I have found the more we care for the happiness of others, the greater is our sense of well-being. The more we care for happiness of others. He's saying, be happy, and then that happiness really is there, that contentment is there when you care for others. Dr. Deepak Chopra, a very, very popular spiritual scientist, spiritual master who is living in the United States, from India otherwise. When you combine your abilities to express your unique talent with service to humanity, then you make full use of law of Dharma. You're living your purpose. Few words here. Your ability to express your unique talent, service to humanity. So he's saying, color, match your talent. I have singing talent, utilize it. I've got great meditation knowledge with the ability to express, utilize it. That's what I'm doing. I've got core technical capability to build something, utilize it. Utilize it for what? Utilize it to the purpose in a way that's useful to somebody. In that somebody, you are there. It's not like you're not there. You're always there. We have to take care of us. It's about our happiness. We're talking about happiness. So by definition, you are there in it. When you take care of others, in a way, using your talent, anyway, you're going to be happy because utilizing your talent. Patriji, purpose of every person is to regale himself or herself with the highest possible enjoyment, entertainment, enlightenment. He's saying enjoy the body, entertain the mind with the highest possible. What's highest possible entertainment in the mind? And then enlightenment, to know that you are the whole. Enjoy the body, enjoy everything that are there, the pleasures of life. Entertainment, the highest possible entertainment is to feed yourself with the great music, great art, great dance, and then highest amount of wisdom that sort of expands you. Stimulate your intellect with the highest amount of wisdom, then it expands you. Enlightenment, but know yourself. Enlightenment is to know yourself, know that you are the whole. You are the same as everybody. So what he's saying is, out of that understanding comes naturally whatever is the right action for you, which is going to be anyway to take care of everything around. Out of that understanding, you will do always righteous action. The righteous action is to first be happy to yourself, deeply contented, and then automatically then you're spreading it. That's what is going to happen. We cannot be happy. Patriji knows you can't be happy unless people around you are happy. One person in your household is not happy, then you know that you'll always be feeling that gap there. That energy spreads and you can't be happy. If one person, if a child is not happy, parents can now be happy. They will be happy for themselves, but then every time they look at them and say, I got to do something about them. If they're enlightened, they'll be happy for themselves, but they're constantly thinking about the child and say, what can I do to bring them under the same path that I am? If they're not enlightened, anyway, they're going to suffer together. Dear friends, the common thread that is coming out is that purpose is to be deeply happy and contented and then help others or share with others whatever that where we are. We help others. And with what? With the unique talent that each and every one of us are given. We're always given a talent. Something is there in each and every one of us. There's some talent is there. Some are able to write well. Some are able to draw well, sing well, speak well. Some are able to go into the new territories to adventure. They're called entrepreneurs. They go into new places where nobody has gone. Meaning they love to do things that no one has done. Entrepreneurs. You create things. You start the creation process. Others will join you. Doesn't matter what you create. There is a saying in business, a good salesman can sell the shoe or anything. A good salesman can sell the shoe or sell the wheel. There is a book called Selling the Wheel. If anybody wants to be a great salesman, read the book, Selling the Wheel. Wheel. You figure out a way to sell the wheel. Wheel is common, right? It's so simple. What's special about it? But you can still figure out a way to sell the wheel. The uniqueness is there, the unique talent is there for some people to communicate and impress upon others, no matter what that they're talking about. So that's your unique talent. So go, and then that's how you become people who promote things greatly for the better of others. So we all are given a unique talent, and we can, when we recognize that talent and when we apply the talent towards the benefit of everybody around, then you are aligning to purpose, dear friends. identifying what my unique talents and abilities are, and applying. So the purpose of life, the way we understand it, friends, is that there is a purpose for everybody, and the purpose is different for each person. Like I said, it doesn't have to be social service. It doesn't necessarily have to be only meditation service. It can still be inventing something. It can be, utilizing your music for making people happy, doing great art. Purpose is to first to find the deep happiness inside you. And then if you're it goes without saying that when you apply your talent for your happiness deeply, your happiness, then you start finding it to be applied for somebody else, which is your happiness comes by helping it to give it to somebody else. Automatically it happens, because what you have experienced, the human nature is to share. How do I find the human nature? You'll reflect into children, small children. Always want to share whatever they're experiencing best with others. While parents or moms want to hold things back and say, no, this is for you. But the child is saying, no, I want to share with everybody. It's natural. That's the innate quality of a child. And then we all are becoming children, dear friends, with our meditation. We're finding, unless you become a child again, you can't enter the kingdom of God, Jesus Christ, unless you become the child again. We got to go back to the child. So they've got to go back to that innocent, spontaneous, loving, sharing person. That's what we are. So by default, dear friends, our core nature is to help others. It's going to happen. The moment you're happy, the moment you're joyful, it's going to happen. So only thing to figure out is, how do I be happy? How can I be happy? What gives me more joy and happiness? That's what we're calling purpose. And it's not one thing for the whole lifetime. Understand, it's not one thing for the whole lifetime. Maybe some people have figured this out. At the early age, they figured it out. Okay, my whole life, I'm going to dedicate for doing this. But not otherwise. Not many people, they know. But however, we do know that from time to time, we do set up activities that give us deep joy, deep happiness, and that becomes our purpose. I was writing code for a long time, computer code, computer engineer. I was very happy. In fact, I used to be so happy and joyful that I would forget myself. I would forget myself, just go in and sit into the night, doesn't matter. Later, I had this deep joy, then just suddenly from whatever technologies I became, somebody said, okay, I had this deep joy of building stuff, building things, creating stuff so that many, many large companies can utilize our products. Somewhere I got that trigger came during my initial part of the career. So then I moved into that rather than writing. I wanted to work with a team of people to create things. As it went along, as I came into meditation service, that desire was there that I must do this. Slowly, the very same thing that I was writing code or doing, businesses no longer was interesting to me, instead wanting to share. So what was very interesting at one point not becomes interesting anymore. And that's the time to recognize that you're done with it. You move on to the next thing. The next thing came to me was to share what I know as this meditation knowledge. But then while it is becoming very joyful thing for me, but then what is the right way to do it? Then that unique talent that Dr. Deepak Chopra was saying about, we all have unique talent. Utilize your talent and apply it for the benefit of others. My talent seems to be that I can understand a few things together and then being able to express it. So I said, okay, I'll do this. Now everything changes from time to time. So it is not there until a few years ago. I was not there. That thing was not coming from me inside. Yesterday, I was still happy doing my business. I was still happy doing my service to Pyramid Valley as a back-end organizer. But there'll be a time where you come, whatever you're doing before is no longer joyful, no longer you're finding happiness in it, but then suddenly you start finding something else. So the purpose changes from time to time and often is aligned to your abilities and talents at that time. So how do you find the purpose? There are a few things that we can do. And our meditation, of course, is giving us a lot of clarity. And then in the context of meditation, then we discuss this. 3 ways. Listen to your heart and inner voice. Always jump in and do something. Experiment. And understand your parents' purpose. 3 things. Listen to your heart and your inner voice. Second is, when you're not clear, jump in and do something. Experiment. Today morning, we heard this video from Patriji, that you have a scientific temperament, then you always are experimenting. So experiment, you get an experience. With experience, you can make a decision. You know whether you like it or don't like it. It's not theory. It's not somebody's telling you. When you follow what somebody's telling you, then it's going to be very temporary. People tell you, hey, please go and do the service. It's going to give you happiness. But unless you experiment, it's not going to last for long. It's because they told you go and then do. You'll not last for long. You got to experiment enough to force yourself, no. But out of interest, if you go and experiment and say, let me try. Many people who eat meat, they stopped eating, not only they stopped eating, but they started advocating greatly because they did that experimentation of not eating and seeing what it means. During that period of time, they developed so much compassion, they get so much clarity that now they become strongest advocates to tell people that what right do you have to not let an animal live? Now they tell people that plant-based diet is so great for your body and health. Why don't you experiment 40 days? Experiment for 40 days and see. It doesn't matter what a religion or what your community and caste and creed is or where you come from. And experiment. When we're not clear what we want to do, then do an experimentation so that iterative process, you figure out, okay, if I don't like this, then I do the next one. Time eternal. Identifying a little bit into looking into the parents' purpose can also be there to help us understand our purpose. Mahatma Gandhiji was traveling in a train in South Africa. So he's traveling in the train. Even though he got a first-class ticket and is going in that compartment, but due to this apartheid, the racism was there. So he was thrown out of the train compartment, saying that no, even if you have a ticket, doesn't matter. You got to be off this train. He refuses, and so then he was pushed out. He was thrown out of the platform. This is in South Africa. So then did he just keep quiet? So then he was deeply influenced with that event. He started listening deeply from inside. He never liked it. He said, I got to do something about it. I've got to do something about it. He started listening to his inner voice. That's what I mean by inner voice. It keeps coming up. It keeps telling you. So he says inner voice was there to do something, and it started a movement. Now, one thing, as you start looking at it, then one thing starts other. Then you start a movement to remove the racism. Then you start looking at it. Suddenly got to know the problems in India, which we found to be much, much larger in size. So they came, and then so there is all that small incident pushed him to sort of strongly think about doing something to solve these problems that are there, the racism, that domination by others, that fundamentally freedom to express, freedom to live with there. That is natural for him, but not natural for some. So he wanted to take that step. That inner voice becomes clear for us when we meditate, because what is happening, we are slowly removing all the unwanted stuff. That clutter is removed. Sure enough, the inner voice comes. That's what we learn in Emotional Intelligence Week. When we start removing the clutter, we start knowing what is important to me. The more you start knowing what's important to you, the more you have the courage to express, to claim it. So you start aligning to what's important to you. The more you start thinking about what's important to you, that you want to move there, your thoughts create reality. And so the more attention you put on it, the more it's going to come into your life at the right time. But at least you move into the direction. Rakesh, when he came into meditation, the strength, the courage to become an entrepreneur became so clear that he moved into becoming an entrepreneur. Not otherwise, for a long time, it's not there. Many of us do this. The courage become, the clarity come that, okay, now is the time. If not now, when? And so the clarity came, the strength came, and so both are required. You need clarity, you need the strength and the will to do it. That has to be there strongly. Meditation gives that plenty. And so then he jumped in to become an entrepreneur. Now you further continued. He liked what he's doing, service, so started helping. So the further continued, became very clear that I've got to use my technology, the entrepreneurship, towards something I deeply love. And so now he's doing a company where he's building a meditation technology. I could say a few things. There?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the way when I started the journey meditation, it was definitely not to look for my purpose, not to look, just sort of curiosity. But I think in about 4 to 6 months, it was very clear, and it was, and that urge to understand what the purpose became very predominant. And things happen naturally. And that is what I feel when we start the practice of meditation. Finding a purpose is to live happily. Otherwise, there would be a lot of doubts, a lot of anxiety of why, what you're doing, why you are doing. And everything falls into place when you are into the practice of meditation. That is my experience. Because there is a search for a period of time when you start looking around. But if I look back, everything led me into this. Everything right from my childhood led me to be this. To know more about myself, to know more about mind over matter. But meditation helps bring clarity into it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh. We align is a perfect example of aligning your talent towards things that you believe in are giving you deeply a lot of happiness and joy. And so aligning is technology expertise, aligning is management expertise, to be with Buddhasi or to further this cause. Somebody who is a musician, We have Madam Surita is a musician. Or Mr. Ganesh, who is there as a musician, violinist, great violinist. So to combine his music towards the thing that is experiencing most meditation and then giving it beautifully to others. It's the same music he was doing before. He was prepared with a lot of music and then became the great violinist. But the moment and then he was using it for entertaining, helping others, but it's great. But then as he found that meditation is something that he really, really enjoying is seeing people transform. Now he is applying that towards meditation, applying our talent towards what we find deep happiness in and then automatically it helps others. If you produce great meditation music, it helps others beautifully. So we look into ourselves, we start looking into ourselves. How do we look into ourselves, dear friends? So meditation is giving us constantly the messages. Is giving us strength. That inner voice is telling you, not that anymore. Change your job. Go there. Work with this organization. If that voice keeps coming up, you take action. Some people is very clear. It was clear to me before starting Buddha's Quantum Foundation, even though I wanted to jump in to do this, but then my inner voice told me, don't come and start now. Instead, go and then continue with IBM for some more time before you come and start. That voice was telling me, don't give up your job now, but instead wait for some more time. Both are there. Voice is going to tell you now is the time to jump in. It's going to tell you wait for some time, but then wait for some time to do something else. But it is there. So it's telling me do what I want to do outside of the Buddha's Quantum Foundation, but in the company that you are working for. Try doing that. Try spreading meditation there. The inner voice, while I was thinking that I'll come out and then do a foundation like this, but inner voice otherwise changed the message to me and saying, you go to that company and spend time doing what you want to do outside to a level possible. So I did that. And 2.5 years later, the very thing that I was enjoying was no longer enjoying, but the message and the inner voice is telling me now is the time. Come in here. We look into our inner voice, meditation is absolutely. And I want to ask, how many people feel like their purpose, they're living their purpose now? After coming to meditation, they're able to understand what they want to do and they're able to align to it. Please say yes. It doesn't have to be, a tall thing. We say yes in the chat. Great. That's all it is. I know so many people have aligned, start singing, start learning music, start going into the dance, their art practices, their thing they want to do always. It can be on the side. It doesn't have to be replacing your whole job. It can be on the side, but fills you with energy. So meditation for sure is giving us clarity, dear friends, for getting into know what our purpose is. Now, the second thing, and in case we don't know what it is, we said try and then do something. Do something, right? Don't wait for your purpose to be revealed to you. Nothing happens like that. You'll be wasting all the time. And so George Bernard Shaw said, a life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but also more useful than life spent doing nothing. Because he's saying you learn something out of it. Doing something is you learn always something because an experience, because ultimately you go towards experiences. Rather than looking back and saying, I wasted my life, I wasted my last 5 years, I don't know what I did. And then ever feeling that thing, but do something. Bhagavad Gita also says in Indian scripture that doing something is better than nothing. Karma is better than akarma. Now from karma you go into sukarma is a different thing. But at least do something first. Gain an experience. Dushkarma, karma, sukarma are there. You're going to sukarma, the great deeds, later. but do something. And so life spent making. So we try something. Find your purpose. That means to find what is really important to you, you do something, because the nature of the soul is that if I don't like something, I'll leave it and go to the next one, because it's not going to stick to that thing that you don't like. Unless you force yourself, unless you lost all your qualities of who you are. A child, if you give them a toy, they don't like it, just leave it right that moment. They go to the next one. They don't like it, they move to the next one, They always want to, they're curious, they always want to try something new. That's the inner nature, dear friends. So our meditation will help us to try something new easily, because you're moving to become the child, the God again. We know this before, but we do it now because we have meditation as a strength, it is telling us to do. We lose nothing. It is improving our scientific temperament. Yes, that's true. How can I hold on to my old belief that no, I can't go out of my home and I just be this is my life? How can I just be what? Why not? What will I lose if I try? That's the open mindset we come to. We become more open to the possibilities. And so we try something new. We have the courage to try something new, even though this is there always before, but we never tried it, but we try it now. In trying, dear friends, then we have the ability to discriminate, so automatically we eliminate things that are not interesting to us. So don't wait, and when you start trying to understand your purpose, don't wait till you understand exactly, I'm not clear about what company to start, and so I don't know this and that. Start somewhere. You don't have to replace the whole thing you're doing, but you start with some small thing out of that company. Suppose you say, I'd like to go and then I'd like to go to this place and live. And then do something there. You always have this interest to go to a place and do something there. Like many people say, I want to go to my hometown, right? I want to do this farming. I want to do that. So jump in to do it. So what do you do to jump in to do? Is something called going into the flow. You experiment to see whether you go into the flow. You take a small task. If you want to go to your hometown and then do farming or whatever, right? You take a small task first to understand what is involved in it. Go and just study a little bit. First take up a small task, because if you want to go shift to that place and then do it, then you say whatever you want to do towards it. The first step is to plan, to study, and say go to that village for 1 week. Don't try to shift, suddenly sell everything and shift there. Just for 1 week you want to go and then spend time there. There must be somebody doing something like that. Sit down there, and whatever is the nearest to you, then spend that 1 week time in that village by yourself and spend time talking to people and doing whatever you want to do. See what happens to you. Do it out of your comfort zone. Don't take leave and do it. You are working while that free time, you're pushing yourself to do that thing to see what happens. Because when you're out of comfort zone, that means when you do things not in your free time, but in a time that you take, when you create time and then do that stuff out of the comfort zone, because always you are say, oh, evening 6 o'clock, I'm done today. I don't want to do it anymore. Tomorrow I'll see. That means your comfort. You're not ready to lose your comfort. You lose your comfort. So evening 6 to 9, if it's a prime time of watching TV or movies or cricket or whatever, take that out and then do this thing that you want to attempt. During that out of comfort zone, you try and spend time and see whether you like it. How do you determine whether you like something or not? When you lose your time and space. That means you don't recognize how much time you spent in it. 6 o'clock, you meet that person and you're going around the fields and walking around, and then it was 9:30 and you didn't realize it is time for dinner. That's what it is. Or you've taken valuable time during the daytime. You have so much work to do, so much pressure, but valuable time you've taken, and then 4 hours you spent walking around the fields. You didn't realize yourself that you spent 4 hours. That means you're going to enjoy it more. You're going to enjoy it a lot more. identifying a few things, even if you're not clear, and then jumping in to do that in small tasks, a clear goal, one task at a time, going into the detail, doing by yourself, and then going beyond the comfort zone. These are all the things you do to get into the flow. You can read them. The wisdom note today talks about this. To help you identify what things that I should do, here are a couple of things. Question, ask yourself, you only have a year left, suppose. 1 year left in your life. What will you do? What's more important? Supposing you have only 1 year left in your life, for whatever reason. It'll make you think. You may have a laundry list of 10 things, 8 things will drop. The moment you ask this question to yourself, if I only have 1 year left in my life, what is most important to me? And second is your abilities. You see, what abilities do you have? If you know of, what ability do you have? Oh, I have a great technology expertise. I have an expertise to talk to people in the United States. Maybe my purpose is something to do with that, because if you are given an ability or a talent, it's not given out of randomly. See, the nature is so intelligent. Don't ever think that we got something random. Nothing comes randomly. Everything is synchronously put together. Billions of events go together synchronously. If billions of planets are fundamentally working together in unison with coherency without crashing into each other, it should give us enough idea to say that everything is happening synchronously, perfectly, and so nothing is random. So if you are given a talent, dear friends, if the talent to speak to certain sect of people, talent to, ability to engage with, let's say, corporate people, then engage with the rural people. So you have a talent. And so then you must look to see your purpose is tied to that ability that you are given. Very simple. Patriji always said it. I was selling pesticide, I was selling fertilizers. I was selling fertilizers through Coromandel fertilizer, and so I was always selling to villages. I used to go to villages. It came natural to me to connect with the farmers. Some days I used to travel, and then if I cannot get back, obviously in villages you don't get good hotels, right? There's no hotel. So then sometimes I just stay there with some people there. I had the natural ability to mix with them and then convey how useful it is to utilize some fertilizers to grow more. So that natural ability to align with them. So I decided, when I got enlightened, decided my purpose is to go back to the villages, the very villages, and then connect with all the farmers and then many, many underprivileged, to give this meditation, to empower them. I did this whole lifetime, 60,000 villages and more could cover through a single person. He never thought that, can I do it? He just went and did it. Today, whatever, dear friends, when you're passionate about something, we start into it, we put our energy into it, it has to grow. So then he tried it and then it worked. So we all have a talent we identify, and then we jump in to do, using our abilities, whatever that we feel like doing, we jump in, try to go into the flow as those few things that are there. And then you see, if you lose time and space, that's what you enjoy most, then you stick to it and then do more of it. That's how you get to purpose, get to know purpose. One, we're trying to understand through meditation will give us more clarity. Second, not clear, then we are doing an iteration process, attempting to go into the flow. Manifestation that we talked about, vision boards you draw, also help you, by the way. You write a lot of things in the vision board. And the next week we have this weekend. This program is ending on Friday. And so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm doing an online manifestation program. When you draw a vision board, and then you write a lot of things on it, and so visualize on it. When you try to visualize, you will know it here. You don't get feeling. If you don't get feeling, take it out of the vision board for now. If you don't get feeling and excitement, and you're hard to visualize as if it's already happened to you, and so then you get many experiences, then that means it's not for you at this point, at least. It may not be, it may be there later, not for this point, so take it out. It also gives an ability to remove things that are not there for you at this point. And the third thing, dear friends, in purpose is one we are saying is to tune into your inner voice. Second, jump in and do something. Third is to understand your parents' purpose. What is it? What did they do? In some cases, it gives you clues. My dad was doing a lot of service. Always he was while he was doing what he was doing, his job, but by default is drawn towards doing service in the village. Helping others was a natural choice for him. Working with people to counsel and then solve some other challenge is a natural choice. That helped me to understand that thing was there from the childhood, that help others was there. Many of us have it. Those of us, all of us here in this meditation, going through meditation, by definition has got to be there, because we come to taking care of our individual consciousness, then naturally the next level up is to take care of everybody else. It's going to happen. It's going to be our default nature. When we start knowing ourselves as a whole, then you can't but to help others. So service came naturally to me, and so the helping, and so that's how I became a leader, to help others, to guide. And then through meditation, it came natural to me that meditation service. It has no question at all. So understanding our parents' purpose and what they stood for also helps us to see that we usually build upon that and then do more in an area that of interest to us, not necessarily the same area. An area that we're interested, we'll do more. If a child is good at writing, they probably go a lot of work in the publishing area to further a service cause. Maybe they'll do it. The parents stood for that service in some other way, but the child, a lot of interest in writing ability. So using the writing, they'll go into help others in that, either that cause or some other cause. It doesn't matter. So understanding parents' purpose will also help us to know what we potentially are standing for. These are the ways, dear friends, that we recognize and get to know purpose. Celestial Prophecy by James Redfield can give you a good idea about understanding parents' purpose. Just the whole energy management gives a good idea. Of course, a meditation will help us to know more. So thank you very much for joining. We will continue to discuss this topic. Purpose and service are very, very intertwined, because we've seen enough of Mahatma Gandhi ji and Dalai Lama ji, Dr. Deepak Chopra Patriji, all talking about service in some way, being happy and helping others in some way is your purpose, tied to the purpose. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Do we take some questions or?
We'll take questions with a short break.
Okay, sir.
Maybe not much, maybe just about 5-10 minutes.
Beauty in you, I see the power in you, I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the child in you, I see the sweetness in you, I see the softness in you, and so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me, I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Jitendra Sahu, can you please unmute yourself?
The next one.
Yes.
Yes.
Good morning to all masters. My heartfelt gratitude to all of you for this wonderful meditation. I am not regular in most of the things, most of the time, but regular in whenever I got time. So this is third time I am attending last 1 year. The great thing I got, I have a leg pain, I think, last 25 years when I was studying in the college. And now, after this 1 year, it's nowhere. Last 1 month, I'm observing there is no pain. When I walk a lot or work more, there is a heavy leg pain. So it is gone. So thank you for that. So one question I have. So how long you need to sleep? Because I saw you, sir, that full moon meditation till 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock. Then next day morning, you are taking the classes. So how long a person need to sleep?
You attended our programs?
Yeah, I am attending. I think 1 year I'm attending, but not regular because my working culture is there. Like morning, I have to go and I have to do my work.
Yes, sir. It has to become regular. Then you'll have your own answer.
Okay.
We've spoken several times about this, but you'll have your own answer, by the way, no matter what others speak. What does sleep give? Why do we sleep?
Take the rest for our body.
It gives us energy, it rests, and then we heal ourselves because in sleep we go into the deep. There is something called delta state, so it heals our body, produces new hormones. There's healing, there is energy. There's also a lot of, spiritually, then you understand that sleep is where the dreams are. The dreams are where we actually get connected with our future and past. So we get clarity, if we know it that way. Meditation is exactly that. And meditation is giving you that same energy, same sleep, the depth of sleep very quickly. So those who do not sufficiently energize the body, lack of meditation, lack of poor habits, who lose energy in random talking and random thinking, and then unscientific eating and all of that, lose energy. So then, of course, you have to sleep like crazy. You have to sleep a long time. But those who are very scientific in nature in the speaking and then thinking and then talking and then do meditation to unlock the energy significantly, then the requirements are minimal. Because you're already getting, the body is already getting it, so the requirements are minimal. Please listen to the week 2. We talked about the concept of energy.
Okay, sir.
So many people sleep 3 hours. My younger brother sleeps, Dr. GK sleeps not more than 3 hours. I sleep between 4 to 5 hours.
Okay, I'll go through it, sir.
Some people, many people,
Yes, I'll
depends
go
on how
through
much energy or how much you are meditating, how much you are scientifically utilizing your energy. Right? We conserve energy, body is great, so that does not require much sleep. So there's no fixed rule for anybody, right? It's a myth.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank
So
you.
the words are always golden words for me. Sometimes I saw the YouTube video and things are coming very nicely, but not regular. I'm attending the meditation. But thank you very much.
What would you like to do to become regular?
Sir, my working culture is like that. I have to get up 5 o'clock, then I have to go take a round. I'm working in a boarding school. So morning hours is sometimes hectic for me.
4 o'clock you get up.
So,
You said 5, you already have a solution. You're not thinking 4 o'clock you get up. 4 to 5 you can
all
do.
right. All right.
All it requires is for us to have a strong intent. See, what we think is what we create. Now that the reason I'm saying this is because now that you're there for 1 year, you said 3 times you came and attended. But you will shift into a great level of next when you take that step and say, okay, 4 to 5, I'm making a strong intent. Now it may be difficult. I say, oh, already I have less sleep. Now 4 o'clock is in lesser sleep. That may be going through a mind. oh, my body will not cooperate. It's impossible for me to go. It may go in your mind, but make an attempt, strong attempt. And say, I am going to do this program. I'm going to sit down and meditate for 4 to 5. I'm doing it. Make a strong intent, because often we don't make intents. Instead, we just go around based on a current circumstance, because that's what we call a limiting factor. With a limiting belief, we say, how is it possible for me? My company starts at 7 o'clock, so no way it's possible. My children are there. It's not going to be possible at all. It's impossible. That is the time I have to take care of my children. We conclude from what we are experiencing and then go with it, and then wishing for what we want and see what happens. Spiritual science is about reversing our condition. We wish for what we want and visualize and dream here and see what happens. And that way, many people have said that something comes, maybe now their husband is taking care of that, or no spouse is taking care very nicely. Earlier, she used to say, hey, you have to come and help me. But now she's saying, hey, you do your meditation, I'll take care of them. Many ways things will come. Or suddenly your mother-in-law will come there. She say, I'll take care, you guys go and meditate. Solutions will be plenty. Or the child is saying, don't worry about me, I'll take care of myself. In your case, it will be something else. Right? Many solutions will come, sir, if we have a strong determination and say, I am sitting and attending this program no matter what, all days, and make a strong resolution and then dream about it. If that's very important, you dream about it. If not, the next program in 3 months, you'll get that ability to attend fully. I can bet on it. I'm sure you're going to come back and share that in 6 months and say, now I'm able to attend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that thought is there. So if I not take proper rest, then only I may not be doing so. I'll put a strong intent. I'll work on that. Thank you, sir. 100% I'll work on that.
Done. Then you got 3 hours extra then. If you do it, you'll get 3 hours extra.
All right.
Life. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Kim ma'am, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. First, I like to report something spontaneous regarding the meditation experience. Yesterday, I suddenly threw up. I vomited and I was alone in the house. I felt headache. I felt very uncomfortable and very tense. I just do the Chandra's meditation. I said, I'm calm. Thank you, body. I'm healing. I'm already healed. It kind of stabilized me. So I'm quite happy about it, despite still, like running around the surface. But I mean, whenever I face an emergency, the first thought is like, okay, sit with your hands crossed, close your eyes, and then says you're okay. So you are the placebo and this. So I just want to report despite being a beginner here. Now, second, I would like to ask Mr. Chandra if what's the meaning of overarching purpose in one of the slides. And then number two, go in the flow. I have a challenge in finding what is my inborn talent. I'm a lifelong learner, and suddenly I have, for the past 2 years, have a specific interest in understanding wisdom. So if I want to spread wisdom, I'm just starting. So my issue is keep on learning, but never put into practice. So it's time probably I put into practice. So if you are still not yet there, is it okay to kind of like do whatever you can to share with people? Question one. Question two, go where the flow is music. But I'm just an average performer despite tens and tens of decades of lessons and all that. But it makes me go into the flow. So how do I find my inborn talent? I have tried book on finding your Dharma, etc. But it's still, the issue is going against the flow, because music, I'm in the flow, yet I am told I'm not talented. So, but I persisted for a decade or so. So any advice will be appreciated. Thank you so much.
Madam, your meditation will give you now the clarity. What we do is 2 things. One is we regularly meditate, do is to jump in to do something. So you said, I want to share, please start sharing. When you do it, it defies logic, but when you do it, In 6 months time frame, when you start doing sharing, and especially many people who do not have clarity of the purpose, the clarity of what they need to do, we ask them to go into do meditation service, because it's taking care of the whole, the fifth body, which is the highest in the chain of all things you can do. You can do it, then 6 months, in the 6 months, you'll get enough clarity of what to do, where to do, how to do. A lot of things will come. So your meditation now will give you more clarity slowly as strips off unnecessary, but take action. You felt good, take action to do some sharing of this knowledge that you have. Teach meditation. You can easily do it. You do that part, and then you will automatically start aligning, and you will know it. Oh, I'm going to sing a lot. My music is going to help people, so you learn music a lot more, and then start giving maybe concerts for entertainment or for meditation, whatever that is. That strength will come to you, but just start doing something towards this service. Take up some service. All these playlists are there. Everyday playlist is there. You can announce a simple board, free meditation, free counseling. You'll learn so much concepts. Just give to people. There's so many they're needing. Yesterday, Archana was just talking to me. She's saying, I have a group of people, but when I put the board and say, I'm going to share meditation, 4 people came, and all of them are telling her that we are looking for it. So that means there are many people looking for it, and then you're going to definitely attract them in the first. So please start. Your purpose will be known to you when you start. Okay, iteration. Nothing more I can give. I can give you more meditation, it'll give you clarity. Second, do iteration, jump in to do something, it'll give you your purpose, you'll identify a purpose. Okay. Thank you. All right, so we'll conclude here. We have another meeting. So Kavitaji will speak tomorrow, Shreya Nandiji. So thank you very much for joining, dear friends. We'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you.
There's enough time to do all that I want to do. There's enough time to be and do it all. Whenever I look inside, that's when I realize there's enough time, there's enough time, there's enough time. More than enough. There's enough time to do all that I want to do. There's enough time to be and do it all. Whenever I look inside, that's when I realize there's enough time, there's enough time, there's enough time.
Thank you.
Okay, dear friends, we'll meet you all tomorrow morning 6 a.m.